And I'm literally shaking. I couldn't hold. That time I even had really bad traumas. I tell one of my colleagues, come, fanya hivi. Nifinyie hapa. And then I download. And then I text the person who was supposed to get me my pay slip. The HR namwambia, nimekuja kwa ofisi. So when they saw me in the office, in the elevator when I'm leaving, I look really scary because when I imagine ulimi yake imefura na ana shake. So then is when they are like, oh, I didn't know you should. Mbona umekuja when you're in this state? I'm like,
I tried.
Iko Nini.
So vile mnacheki jo, kuna vile leo niko solo juu Mr. Ian kuna vile ameishia Masai za Mombasa kukunywa maji ya chumvi na kujivinjari, but still in the process of course lazima to have like some meaningful discussion. So leo tuko na Kevin Isaac, na Kevin Isaac is a cancer survivor, si ndio?
Yeah.
Na hiyo ni stage
4? Stage 4 of rhabdomyosarcoma.
So
in short RMS.
Okay, and hii RMS discover kwa when?
Around late 2021 up to 2022. So 2022 ndio the first time nilienda OC. So I woke up half paralyzed in the morning on kanaenda job. Went to the hospital. I could feel something here, like a boil. So I knew that was it. So nikaita ambulance, kanipeleka OC inaitwa Radiant. After the scan, tukapata ni 3. So I think a lot of times when you hear cancer, you know it's a roller coaster. Sorry for anyone that will be triggered with this. But in terms of, at some point, you're very okay. Things you're being told everything is fine, nini. 1 or 2 days, ama 2 months, ama 3 months, ama whichever time, in a deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the reason why nilikuinvite ni kuna majuzi kulikuwa na ni the Stanchart Marathon, eh?
Yes.
So kwa the Stanchart Marathon, straight after nicheki ulibaki umepost ukaandika that I have stage 4 cancer and I'm dying. I mean, look at how my thighs can no longer save lives and Sienda is non-existent. So ulikuwa umeenda the marathon, eh?
Yeah.
So what surprised me was the fact nilifeel kama tayari usha accept death, and that's like one of the hardest things to do. Why?
I think there's that acceptance of death in terms of it might happen anytime.
Yes.
Hata nikitoka hapa nje. But for when you have something like stage 4 cancer, it's ni kama imekuwa more specific, like there are timelines that are given to it whenever one condition happens to you. So at some point I had heart problems. I've had like 4 heart attacks. So with that, ukiangalia hata the staging and everything, unajua tu within 1 or 2 months I won't be here. So the best thing that I thought I would do is, and I was mentally in a good space to accept that hapa ndio penye tuko, and this is what might happen next. A lot of people confuse saying I am dying with meaning that I'm manifesting that kifo sasa kuja. But it's not that. It's preparing for the worst when you're hoping for the best. So that is one of my mantras.
Okay. And so the first time you only discover in 2021, walikupatiaga how long? Because stage 4.
So then typically hata tuko tunajua ni what type, so we took a lot of time trying to figure that out. And then the first time I was told 3 months. You have ideally 3 months, this and this will happen. So when you're told that for the first time, for some people it comes as a shock. For me it was like, okay, what can I do? What can I not do? So perspective yangu in life has always been Kenya uwezi fanya achana tunayo. If
So this is 2021. Which month was this?
2020, this is 2021 December.
So kamba uko na till March,
Yeah.
basically 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that was not scary, like ikishafika, like how are you feeling in like Feb?
So the thing is this, around January, when it's Happy New Year, and you're like, it hits you like this will be my last New Year celebration. And second inafika, third inafika, fourth inafika. I'm thankful saa zingine si usahau. So kuna activities zingine in life that overtake things in terms of there's work, there's bills, capitalism and everything. So unajipata tu umesahau, and then uko March. And then okay, sahi umepita, sahi uko chances are uko poa, but anything can happen. And then you research a lot online in cancer groups, cancer communities, and saa zingine unapata. So one thing I notice is saa zingine mtu anapewa 3 months, they live for the 3 months, ikifika 4 ama 6 something happens.
Yeah.
So when it was by the 5th month, now I'm looking for something might happen. Obviously there are people who are also when you wamepitisha by far. I know some people wamekuwa more than 8 or 7 years. And that also gives you hope.
Yes.
So part of why I keep living the way I live is that kama in your record tuta break, let us break it. But death ikihappen,
it happens.
It may happen. So I think the biggest thing ni your acceptance. And now that you know that you have this and this condition, how do you try and take care of yourself? If you are not already taking care of yourself vizuri, unaanza sasa kufanya zile vitu dokiwa amesema. Like I used to enjoy drinking tea a lot. I no longer drink tea because that will accelerate my heart rate. Coffee.
So haijalishi hata kama tea haina sugar?
Haijalishi. And I don't want to take that chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how does caffeine accelerate heart? How's that bad?
Because already I experienced something called arrhythmia. Like my heart rate inaweza amua igonge haraka sana, which might cause an heart attack that might be fatal, considering my condition. Because other than the heart, there are other things in my body that to maybe to sort in terms of chemotherapy, excuse my French, fucks up the whole system.
Yeah.
There are things that you expect. Kila siku ukiwatch movie yote inamsha cancer. The first thing unaona ni kipara. So initially when I was told kuna chemotherapy, this amount of rounds, the first thing nilikuwa na expect ni nywele nini off.
Itaanguka.
And it was just after COVID. I used to be one of those people who always shave like twice a week. On a shape cut and everything. So nywele yangu ilikuwa imegrow kiasi to dengu, and then I was like, acha tungoje fall off. So in this process is then I learned that not all chemotherapy nywele you fall off.
Okay.
But then there are other side effects that people don't quite share. Even in the groups that I was in, you only expect things like nausea, vomiting. But there's some things that even 10 months down the line, I started experiencing these things. And also that now reminded even more of my mortality, that ile time ulipita, sahi maybe something else is happening. So like I had weak bones in my metatarsal, nikafanya surgery to try and fix that. So that's why now we are boot. My nerves were really messed up, especially on the right side. kitu nywele nililose ni eyebrow. White hair iliongezeka sana. Ta kuna haka ziko everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, nilikuwa naiangalia like those superhero comic books, like sasa umepata ni kama umepata powers.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's ni staying positive, finding the positive kwa hizo negative that are happening. At some point I literally was leaving the house and just going to work and coming back home, as in sina interaction na watu at all, because your immunity is really bad.
Yes.
That hata homa messes you up. Sahi watu wana vaccinate wa polio.
Yes.
Vaccine ya polio ni watu yupo wa polio. So chances zako za kuget polio kama immunity yako iko low, imagine a high. So you literally, if you're a social human being, life yako inakuwa very closet. Hauwezi meet na wase. And you miss those, you miss the things that you take for granted. And just hope that at some point when you're praying or meditating, you just hope that as much as I might be dying, just give me another chance to say, go buy my own grocery. Or be able to just go outside or kusikiza mziki. Music, although, has been there all through my journey in terms of sijaisa mziki, but mi nilikuwa fan wa ball, Manchester United, and at some point I couldn't even concentrate because you're in so much pain. So your joints with the RMS, especially in adults, your joints are very painful. So your knee, your back, your spine, because at some point it had spread to the cancer, spread a bit to the spine. So hiyo unajua ni ticking time bomb, and I couldn't concentrate on ball. So you're just looking forward to ile siku ndarudi tena. So one of the things I did is, at some point as I was documenting, I was doing something called my last days. Like, this is my last meal. Unajua, the way like if you're about to die, like in prison and you're about to be executed, say in some states, and then unauliza what will be your last dish. Where yako inaweza kuwa?
Tushaibonga kwa story. I think yangu inaweza kuwa ni kuku kienyeji na chapati. Najua, like, but would I enjoy it? I don't think so. But that would be it.
Yes, but sometimes it's just seeing it there.
Yeah.
So mimi nilikuwa I've met you guys from the last time. I've done all my goodbyes. But if I'm able to live again and experience this again, I'll relive it. You get? So that's also another positive that pushes you on. So you don't give up. And it's the easiest thing to give up in terms of, you have, in quotes, all the excuses to give up. I hear a lot of people when they're discussing suicide. I've lost friends that I met when they had cancer. And some of them died by suicide, and you could hear guys saying that it's okay, let her rest now, which is almost the same as when you've been with a patient for a while, watu wanasema acha sasa pumzike. But mseka mimi I think mi bado nataka kukua. But it is also very easy for you to be in that dark space.
Yes.
Please, tuseme kama uko na gari unaona hapa kuna njia kwa, you're not even thinking of I can reverse and like this is it. And at some point I was there, like in from around November, that darkness now crept in more.
November, yeah?
Yeah, sasa last year.
Oh, okay.
Last year, like 1 year ago. Yeah, 2023. Because the other thing that I was prepared for was losing friends. it's one of our tabia yenye tuko nayo as humans. Like when it gets hot, buckle up. And I don't fault anyone. No one signs up for any of this. Even
nini nikikuinterrupt kidogo, that's what pia tulikuwa na boy anaitwa Henry Derrick. Remember before tuanze nilikuwa kuenjoy nasema I met Henry Derrick
and
cancer. Kevin Isaac cancer. Mpaka niko like don't give your kid two English names.
Atapata cancer.
But tukiwa na yeye alikuwa anasema the same thing, that your friends leave you and you don't know how to even blame them because you feel like number one, they don't know what to tell you.
True.
To comfort you. Alafu number two, you might become a financial burden to them while they themselves are barely surviving. So it's a very interesting and into the human psyche.
Because one thing you notice about friendships, why do the people like you? Wife yako mbona yuko na wewe? Sa you can change randomly, ukue Lejo Maria. That changes your life,
yes.
How you interact with people, whichever you get. But now for cancer, which alters your whole life, you become a totally different personality. And your hormones are also dealing with all this medication. So you become a totally different person. Huyu si ule Kevin tulikuwa tunajua. So as much as I might try to still be the same person, there are things that for them we can no longer hang out with you. And they can only do it for such a long time. I think there are people who will stay longer, but you're also asking yourself, are you staying longer because you're pitying me? And if there's one thing I've learned from a lot of our groups is, hata mimi sipendi uoishe. I'd rather nikuambie hii siwezi, but usiniuoishe. Because then that also breaks my heart. Like I'll feel like a lesser human being. Burden was, so I was fortunate. At first I was financially stable, I had a job, I had my savings. Guys, save. Save. Hata kani bob, 2 bob, 3 bob. It's very hard, I know, with the economy and everything. But kama unaweza find a way of saving even further. Skipping hata kofi yako ya Java once a day. It goes a long way. Because when all these things were happening, I asked the doctor, because I was very okay. I was still physically very energized. So I'm also a very outgoing person. So now with Liza Doki, ideally, what will this cost? This much. I'm like, okay, can it this much? Na najua cancer yuko expensive. And I think there's a double year amount. So, okay, I think niko sawa. So initially, I didn't even ask for help because I didn't want to be a burden.
Yes.
I didn't have... nilizaliwa hapa Nairobi West. But by the time I was 8-7, my dad lost his job and we moved to Dandora. So my life transformed from mseamereziwa Nairobi West, and back then Nairobi West kulikuwa na Wahindi, so imagine sijui Sheng, sijui Kiswahili, and then you live in Dandora all that time. So unajua what life is. And then at some point, my dad passes away in 2000. And when I'm 12, thanks. I'm 12 and I already know that sasa ni mimi ni step up. Because in most African societies, you know that you're 12 years older, so you know that you need to do certain things.
Yes.
Fortunately, I was book smart. So nilijua I've always known that I can do this in terms of I get scholarships, which were easier to get back then. So I get scholarship, I'll get into school, uni, get a job easy. So I always knew that I need to take care of my mom and my younger brother. But now I was like, being a burden was a lot. From an emotional perspective, my dad died in the arms of my mom.
What nilikuwa buda?
Tuberculosis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
alikuwa msewa fegi na pombe.
Okay. So ufikiri ati maybe kulikuwa na cancer pia imejificha na mko mnajua?
No. Genetically, because there isn't a thing that ties RMS to anything. So there's still research being done on that, because mostly it affects children. So hata me, by the time ilini get, I can easily ask why me. And I've been healthy all through. So when my mom was nursing my dad, and then I got sick, I didn't want to be a burden to my mom. There's a tweet somewhere said that ama dem uko nao kwa club and everything, watapotea saa zenye mama yako na kubembeleza ukunywa kijiko ingine moja ya uji.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be a burden to your friends, to your family. So even by the time I was being told I have 3 months or anything, I didn't tell anyone.
How to come your mother?
Hata mother sikumwambia.
Yeah.
My bro had just gotten a job in Qatar. And then when I thought about it, I was like, it will be a lot for my brother, just gotten a job, and all of a sudden, ikitu may happen. For my mom, she has a hypertension, and I take care of medical bills and everything when they are there. I pay for NHIF. So I'm like, this will totally destroy her. And she didn't, even now I don't think she still has the strength kama ile mi nilikuwa nayo ya ku. And I believe you're supposed to be also kind enough and aware to know how much some people can bear. Sometimes you might be wrong. It might be an assumption. But kama unaweza do it.
If you don't have to risk it.
Yeah, so that burden, it played a major part in my reasoning for not sharing what I was going through at first. Up until at some point, I even sent my blood samples to India, and I was like, now I think we're in the clear. So this is when I tell my mom in around July 2022. So when I'm telling her this, it's in terms of inakuja na don't worry. You get, like, I've been going through this and this and this, but sahi tuko place poa. So you know that I was trying also to give her hope. Now also alleviate anything that in terms of tuko pabaya. Because look, being a breadwinner also does something to you. It takes away some things from you in terms of you have to know how to handle situations. And we don't choose to be firstborns or lastborn or whichever.
Yeah.
But unajipata hapo. So even my employer, I only told my employer in July.
Year 2022.
Year 2022. I when I was going through chemo and I was having my surgery, I think my mom only noticed one point because I asked her to come stay with me in the house. Juu ya kupika. But other than that, she noticed that my lifestyle had changed in terms of siku hizi siendi out. Siku hizi hata siwashi at all. So ni kama alikuwa maybe anaona maombi zake zimejibiwa. But then she also noticed that I lost weight drastically. And then I was trying also to take care of myself, like changing my bandages. So these things gave her a hint, but she didn't know what was happening. The guys at work maybe noticed.
Alikuwa nafikiri ni surgery ya nini?
No, because the surgery that I had here, I had to dress it. So unacheki maboy tukienda kuoga si ujifunga tu hapa. So pia mimi nilikuwa na joke najifunga hapa. Anasema mbona mimi siwezi funga hapa? So yeye ku get ninaendelea. So I was hiding that from her. With good cause then.
Yeah.
The guys at work noticed that so then I transformed from being an art director to another department that was tech. doing UI UX and being head of tech there. So that came with business development with that role. So I told my boss that I don't think I have the capacity of business development because it involves meeting clients and going out of the office and traveling. Could you get someone who could do that? As I stay in the office, and so it meant ndandanga tu kimo. Schedule yangu interfere na, no one will interfere na anything. Because also I knew one thing. If you're employed, it's hard to employ someone. It's already hard. Maybe rules are changing, but it's already hard even to employ guys who have HIV/AIDS, and it doesn't affect their work productivity. What about someone who has cancer and is undergoing this? And you can tell from you can ideally tell support gani get. And I was like, if I have all this, hakuna ja kwa burden. So there was a time I was even wearing diapers. Yeah. So after telling my mom, and then vitu zikaanza kurudi tena ile roller coaster ya cancer ile ya sasa ya chini. So it goes worse. I couldn't hold my pee. My kidneys were acting up. My heart was acting up. So we're also trying to see if it is back. But we're not finding a tumor. Because that is the other thing about RMS. Siki tuta test your blood ionekane. Or the same with many of these cancers that ziko kwa ile percentage kidogo. So as I am trying to sort my kidneys and my everything, I have to go to work in adult diapers, which are quite comfortable, by the way. Other than number 2, sikuwa number 2, so siwezi jua. But nilikuwa na adjust, and also being quite aware that the moment you say, I have this is what I'm going through. Hata sasa ukisema by the do yangu imeisha. Ama ni kama sikubeba wallet. Perspective of everyone changes.
Yes.
So what about something like I have cancer? All of a sudden that changes. Either people will voice you, either people start now thinking of, now we need to replace you. And then now you it also adds a target to you in terms of lazima sasa perform job yako better hata ile sana sasa ukue indispensable, because they already have a reason to
get rid of you.
So it has been a journey, and as you're dealing with all this, bado kuna ile part ya I'm still dying, bado iko kwa on top of your head.
Because when you told your employer kona cancer, what sort of support did you get? Was there so the employer knows, your boss knows?
Yeah.
Were the other employees told pia? Uliendaje?
No, so if I can remember that conversation, so I told her, she was emotional, she was like, she can offer any support. And what I told her then was that currently I don't need any support, because I also don't like taking advantage of situations. Because that ideally ruins it for wale wasi wengine wenye watawaikuwa kwa hii situation. Mtu ataona yenyewe msi anatuibia or something. So I told her currently I don't need anything. In fact, the only thing as a need, then I started having muscle issues on my foot. I'll need time off jioni nikuange naenda physio. So ideally, also didn't want it to be like a favor. Because even when you're starting a relationship, and when you start dating na mtu anaonekana kufanya favor, it now becomes different. Your dynamic inakuwa tofauti. At some point wataona, back to the word burden, wataona weni burden. So like I'll be coming in this time and I'll leave this time. Sioni the same working hours. Yes. So with my colleagues in the team I had, most of them, I'd recruited them. I'd been involved with at some point in their recruitment. But then when I was off work, when I got so in January is when I got my first heart episode and heart attack. Ndio hata pia mimi nilijua niko na sahi tuko na shida ya heart. So I took time off. January.
Office ama home?
It happened fortunately nikiwa Kenyatta. But then when it was happening, it's also the first time in my life, or the first time when all this thing is happening, that I wasn't ready. Like I remember telling God that, hey, not now. And because your time pia nilikuanga na tweet kwa thread flani, I was like, hey, I hope nisikufe leo. Leo si, hey, najua nafaa kukufa, but si leo. Because I had plans for my mom in terms of venye ndawacha. I hadn't put my will together. And then I didn't have money. Ilikuwa ile wiki mshahara inaingia next week. Na saa hizo ndio mvua inaamua kunyesha. And it also, this is the first time I also let my guard down in terms of being a burden. So I call the people I know that can send me money.
Yes.
I call now my uncles from my dad's side who tuseme ni cousins Wambuyu. So I call, because my mom, at some point my mom tells me, ukiona mbona uongeangi na nani, mbona uambiangi nani. And I keep telling them like, everyone also just respects you by penye wanakuona in life. As in, nani amekam na Prado.
Yeah.
Nani siku hizi nilipatana na nani kwa hoteli ya kifahari. So chances hata kuitisha namba kucall later kuliko mse utapata naye kwa street, unless huyo mtu ni ana hiyo roho ya utu ya kufuatilia urafiki na ufamilia. Ni hard sana atakwambia ni the same way atakwambia nipe CV yako mkiwa kwa matanga yanko, chances yake ya kwambia nipe CV yako ndafuatilia job.
Yeah.
Na ku break heart. But ukipatana naye kwa meeting tuseme ya cabinet ama hapo kwa corridor ya State House umwambie by the way natafuta hii job ama itenda, atakwambia hata saa hiyo by the way tuendanishe. You get?
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember calling my godfather. Akaniambia na travel, and I was like, I'd already talked to a doctor because I started feeling a weird way. Na najua something is coming. So I know lazima nikuwe na this amount in case ni surgery. Kenyatta nimeambiwa nimefuata za process. Kenyatta nimeambiwa rudi 14th February. So I'm even joking with the nurse that Valentine's Day itakuwa heartbreak kwangu. Juu kama ni January no umeandikiwa, so doki they give you a paper that doctor says kama ni urgent ama doctor na decide. So it's literally kuandika urgent. So hii karatasi ndio naenda nayo kwa system, uweko kwa system. So kuenda kwa system, mi nadhani sasa niko kwa process ndaonwa. Naambiwa kuja stampia saa kuja 14th. Sijapewa dawa, sijapewa anything. And already I can feel like this is about to happen. So yeah, back to calling the uncles. One is I'm traveling and I'm like, when you to me a thou like nikifika Nairobi ndakushow. Sawa. Call mwingine niambia yeye atajalipo kutoka August. And if lost alikuwa amepost wenye buy gari mpya a couple of months ago. So you literally now I'm getting that heartbreak, and now it's becoming emotional because now I'm like, this is the worst time, and also it's reinforcing that thing of being a burden. One of my aunts, a very young aunt, younger than me, didn't come call. In fact, I was in a cab going around trying to source for money.
Yes.
Nimeenda bank, nimeambiwa ngoja kiasi. Bank are giving me a certain amount. I've even gone to a Shylock in town. some weird Shylocks who you should not trust.
So,
when you aliniuliza biometric nilisema no. So I call this cousin, this young aunt, and I'm like, look, I was literally crying then. Like, look, acha nikutumie bank statements zangu zote, kutumie payslip yangu, ndio ujue I'm good for this money. It's a fraction of what I earn. I call work, the guys who said, whenever you need anything, we will support you. And you know what I need? I need a payslip nipeleke bank. Payslip tu yangu. Mimi wale wase payslip you come si na click tu. Sitaki tu kuangalia na click tu. So I need someone to go to my computer, kufungua email yangu, download ile nitumiwa. My tongue had swollen, so hata siwezi ongea hizo vizuri. It took so long that mimi na msewa kabla tulitoka tao, I went to the office and I'm literally shaking. I couldn't hold. That time I even had really bad traumas. I tell one of my colleagues, come, fanya hivi, nifinyie hapa. And then I download. And then I text the person who was supposed to get me my payslip. The HR namwambia nimekuja kwa ofisi. So when they saw me in the office, in the elevator when I'm leaving, I look really scary because when I imagine so ulimi yake imefura na ana shake. So then is when they are like, oh, I didn't know, you should, mbona umekuja when you're in this state? I'm like, I tried. But I also wanted to prove that I still have the strength to do that, and it has only taken me less than 15 minutes. You guys mmekuwa mkinizungusha almost half the day because I called you in the morning.
Yeah. And what happened with your aunt?
My aunt sent me the money.
Okay.
So like, no need to ni Gen Z. Is she Gen Z or millennial? I think ndio naruka hapo kwa millennial.
Yeah.
Sorry for mentioning Gen Z. I hate when guys say mention Gen Z. And then people mention. Anyway, alinitumia without anything. And we have a very supportive alumni group in Lenana.
Okay.
So I was one of the ear leads for our group on WhatsApp. So there's another group that now has everyone from the 1960s. So I post there, who knows this doctor? So saizo Google the best cardiologists. Who knows this doctor? Nikapata ni msiwa Lenana. I go to them and they sorted me, and kumbe hata nilikuwa nimepanic sana. I didn't even need surgery. So they just gave me medication. Told me go buy this medication outside. So all of a sudden, roller coaster, remember? Ulikuna tafuta do, and then all of a sudden uko sasa na do mob. Juu hujatumia. But the thing with cancer, you know, I'll need it. So go buy this medication. Niko Upper Hill. It's called Upper Hill Cardiology Center. So I go there. I think nimemash up your jina. Also chemo messes up with your memory. So hapo hinjo kwa chemist, they told me like bill ya medication itakam like 6,400. So I'm like, apana. Because I know, because when you become ill, utajua hizi shimo zote za medication. So I call my person medication. Niambia hiyo dawa ndakuzia na total yangu ili reduce by almost 10 times less.
So from 6,400 to like 600?
Like 600. I'm like,
almost
all medication in Kenya, almost zote, the difference in markup is almost 10 times.
Alafu
na hii hata si ya cancer, remember? Hii si dawa ya cancer. So think of medications of cancer.
So inamaanisha this person knows you need this medication, but it's also a chance to
make money out of you.
Because when you talked about uncle alikuwa amepost like Prado, Ilini remind ulikuwa unasema wewe ni mtu wa ngoma, so which is your favorite like genre? What do you listen to mostly?
Currently what I listen to mostly is Afro House.
Oh, Afro House, okay.
Yeah.
Because what came to my mind was kuna ngoma fulani I like quoting it a lot maka waso Iko Nini nikushua najua. There's a song by Exhibit, it's called At the Speed of Life.
I know that song.
At the Speed of Life. So kwa the speed of life, Exhibit usemaga, it's too much weight to be juggling. Who do you picture when you think about struggling? Kids in the bed, no food, stomach bubbling, or niggas in the E-class, heavy drug smuggling. So it goes back to you, like, I'm fighting for my life, but you want fuel for
and I'm
your
not
car.
I wasn't si kama sahi venye
Yeah.
I'm all out begging or anything. I'm like this is money I'll return to you.
Yeah.
I'm sending you my bank statement, my pay slip, in case you don't trust me, because I know money.
Yes. Pesa ni shetani.
In fact, I'm even like, if you need to print something for this 5K I'm borrowing, write a document. Mi sinanga shida hata ya kusaini document, hata kaa ni aso. Siezi, kaa sahi nikakuomba so uniambie, utanirudishia kweli? Kwambie, uniambie, ebu sign hapa, andikisha. Sina shida na hiyo. Because I know humans, what humans do with money.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing, before to delay, you talked about your immunity being compromised. That's the reason why you have to walk around with a mask, huh?
Yes. There are times I can remove my mask. I hope hauna homa.
Yes, sina homa.
Sawa. So naweza toa mask. But pia, as I was saying, people will, even when I was undergoing through all this treatment, I had a rule, no visitors. Because I wanted to preserve my dignity. I've seen so many other people having to ask for money for treatment, and it might be a very small amount. But even Simbali sana, there was the lady Catherine Kasavuli. When she was in hospital, at her worst, you know, when you're at your worst, you can't even control your dignity. You better say, hey, staki photo. That is when everyone is there taking a photo, and then the next day she died.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Ukichekia story ya Kasavuli utaona the first images ni akiwa hosi, not looking at her best. And I think even the family around is now desperate. Like if it will take a picture of you looking at your worst to get
people to help.
Yeah, let's do that. And I'm sure you've seen posters of guys who've been failed by systems and everything.
Because when, like right now, what I wanted to say, just to be safe, you can just wear your mask. Nikuwa nauliza tu. It was just something I was asking.
Yeah.
Like,
it also is good to see the face.
Yes. Kuna mtu anaweza shindwa like, kwa nini Kevin amevaa mask? Nacheki. So that's why when you talked about immunity, I was like, you know, and it's better safe to be sorry. Inaweza kuwa niko na kahoma.
And there's some, kuna moshi ishai trigger an asthmatic attack. And sijai kwa na asthma. I think my mom was aliwasha jiko na something on the balcony, and nilikuwa tu all of a sudden I can't breathe, and I'm feeling like my knees inajifunga, it's like it's swelling. And there's a doctor who told me whenever you feel that, rush to the nearest hospital.
Okay.
So staki kujipata kwa hiyo situation.
Najua. Plus another thing I have to ask you. You're one of the few people who I can actually ask about impact ya SHA, SHIF, NHIF. So what has that been? Because nakumbuka nilicheki kuna dem anaitwa Cancer Queen La Ali Mari alikuwa ameandika been going through pneumonia attack for some months now, having lungs blood clot, it's not easy. Requested NHIF to pay for my CT scan. For chest scan, it's 2 months now without approval. What hurts most is that I had paid for the whole year. Then akaandika cancer. Alafu we mwenyewe ukaandika this is why Ruto must go. Sending you strength and guidance. I'm sorry, Mari. So nyinyi ndio mko really affected na this thing, yeah?
And me even less, because now I'm doing palliative care, so I don't depend on NHIF. But I still had paid for NHIF. because I know what NHIF does, and I've used NHIF before. Even hiyo time nilipata nini attack
Kenyatta.
Kenyatta, nilikuwa natumia NHIF. And it was seamless for me then, because I went to this hospital and I was referred to this hospital, so it was seamless. Na each time nimetumia NHIF, even when the work insurance hadn't been activated, NHIF was working properly. But now with SHA, first of all, the reduction of all these benefits, to what end? Mbona if the other one ilikuwa ndio iko na mashida na ilikuwa ina serve this much, so hii that inafaa kuwa better, why is it serving less? Like if you have the amount for cancer patients has been reduced, the amount for as in the amounts there literally can't cover at sometimes half of what you need to cover.
Ruto alikuwa anasema that's fake news ile time watu wakifight
ndio dem alitweet ni fake news aje. There's a news article on Nation about guys who've been affected, real time guys who've been affected. There are people who have died. Ask doctors who are in county hospitals and all these other hospitals. The people are being sent away and they need dialysis. Like this is what they depend on. Maybe chemo neza skuma by 1 week. But dialysis, your body is always excreting. Alafu sasa huwezi fanya dialysis. Kama ule mzee alikuwa analia.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, because then now you're faced, it wasn't something serious. It wasn't, your kidney issue wasn't a problem. But now because of these delays, it is now becoming worse.
Okay. So, and it's interesting that umesema uko kwa palliative care right now. So, for someone who does not understand palliative care?
So palliative care is to, ni kama the pain you're undergoing when your body is now maybe shutting down. So sometimes it's painful for me to breathe. My muscles are always in pain. My nerves are on fire. So I niko na prescription ya morphine after every 3-4 hours. So that is separate, but you still have, I still need to take my heart medication. I still need medication for my nerves. But now it's just managing this pain. Yeah.
So we are not.
It's trying to give you some quality. I'm still in pain. I still pass out, even black out from pain sometimes. Saa zingine naweza mka usiku and I'm having the worst pain ever. You thought ile niliave jana ndio your worst pain, but now you have it level ingine. So it is just helping pain ku manage. Yeah.
So because with palliative care is when we are no longer trying to cure you, we are just managing your pain.
Yeah.
So when's the last time uliambiwa? Because remember originally you'd been told you have 3 months, yes? But after you kuambiwa you have 3 months, you've lived to close to 3 years, yes?
Yeah.
So why this time do they feel like there's nothing more?
So there's a skin ailment just that has started. Na pia na hiyo metastasis that is on my spine. And the way my heart has been behaving. So these are some of the things that make it seem closer, but also in terms of how my symptoms get worse. The bad days zimekuwa nyingi more than the good days. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's this thing, kuna things that I feel someone like you can explain better than me, ama can share the experience better than me, and that thing is about surgeries, for example. So majuzi I did a video and I was talking about the situation of Lucy Wamboi,
The lady from
Body by Design.
Body by Design, yeah.
And I remember saying that I feel like surgeries in a country like Kenya should only be done when it's an emergency. That to come a plastic surgery, I feel like plastic surgery is a luxury that we don't have because the system is too corrupt. And that means that a lot of quacks are working. And
true.
KMPDC, either intentionally or unintentionally, ends up protecting them. What are your 2 cents about that? Because wewe usha go through surgery hapa Kenya, si ndio?
Yeah.
And the surgery was successful.
Yeah, yes. And I had faith in the doctors. I had huge faith. I think we have some of the best doctors in the world.
Okay, that's good.
And that's factual in terms of you Google their name and you read the research papers, and amongst their peers also acknowledge that these are really good doctors. There's something about surgery.
Yes.
It's also 50-50. So as much as there are things I knew, like when I was asked, where do you want us to, like my last surgery in November, I was having my appendix removed. But then I asked the doctor to also check my gallbladder. And they also found that that was even worse than my appendix. It was totally inflamed. So when I was telling, my doctor was asking me, where do you prefer having your surgery? And that was in November. So November I was still employed, so I was also fluid. So I had the privilege of choosing where to have my surgery. I chose a theater that I knew this is the best theater. This will give me added advantage.
Where was this?
In Nairobi Hospital.
Okay.
So I was like, book me at Nairobi Hospital. Because I know surgery is also aftercare. So I was sure the aftercare I'll get from surgery will be good. And I've done all my surgeries there. Like I know aftercare will. So kila kitu itakuwa sawa pande yao. So ni mimi mwili yangu iamue venye itakuwa. We have good plastic surgeons in Kenya. Okay. Qualified. There's in Kenyatta, we have the best dermatological department. They'll tell you this is sasa nipatia plastic surgery. They'll also tell you, they'll also be honest enough to tell you that you don't need this. And that is where I think the cosmetic comes in, where a lot of these establishments are now seeing that niche. Niche ya kuingia, kuset up, so I agree with you in terms of quacks have also found the niche in the system and are taking advantage. But they're good plastic surgeons in Kenya.
Okay. So you don't feel like, because I always advise people against any sort of surgery that's not life-saving. Unachiki kama zako, I treat them as life-saving, where you're damned if you don't.
No, I think everyone has the right to decide what to do with their body.
Okay.
Including abortion.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Yeah.
And if it is cosmetic, you have the right to, like, mi nataka kufanywa whatever. But you see, if the system is okay, you're trusting that the doctor that you're seeing, because you have no time to go checking udoki kama amesoma huku kweli, kama license yake iko, because they have a running space. So it means licenses zake na everything iko sawa.
Yeah.
So I think ni right ya mtu yoyote.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, get it.
Okay, I think mi pia nakwaga hiyo pro-choice, and I love the freedoms. The only thing is, I've never been in your situation, so I think I'm more skeptical than you, because I've
Yeah, so, and I rightful so, and I'm sure there are so many people have also lost people, and I'm sure there are hospitals that ukitajia mtu anasema hey, hospitali siezi kanyaga because of negligence.
Yeah.
But negligence will also happen. Doctors are humans. That's one thing pia mimi. As much as I have faith, because doctors have saved my life so many times. And Kenya pia najua ni negligence ita happen.
Yeah, okay.
But kazi ya association kufanya hizi negligence ikuwe kidogo ni nini? Okay. Kazi ya, because if say a doctor has worked for so many hours, let me ask you, say ukienda kuoperatiwa umbwe udoki ni fresh, kesho atakam fresh kama kufanya surgery. Ama kuna doki amework overnight, jule mwingine anaweza chelewa kidogo, huyo overnight akumalizia tu uende. Which one will you choose? You'll want to choose the fresh
one. Yes.
You get? But sometimes you don't have the
luxury for
asking. The person who has the luxury ni ule amepewa power ya administration, say ya OC.
Okay.
Administration ya OC ianswer to KMPD.
KMPDC.
Exactly. So how ndio hii ni kazi yao, including licensing. If everything is working okay, then kama ni negligence ya ukweli, that's criminal. You get?
Okay. Because saizi nataka tusikize hii, this is the clip ya the nini, Citizen did a report on this, yes? So nataka kusikia your 2 cents after hearing like what they went through, ama what the lady went through. So they interviewed the husband.
In Nairobi's Lavington estate, Lucy Wamboinganga's family is preparing for her burial while demanding justice, claiming her death resulted from a cosmetic procedure gone wrong.
Walikuwa nasema maneno ya kifua na already huku kwa tumbo kula alikuwa amemdunga huku, walikuwa amedunga this size mali hata chupa inaweza ingia. Cho ilikuwa natoka, hata alikuwa nanuka sana, na cho ilikuwa natokea hiyo mashimo. Nikauliza where is my wife, anatoa cho na nanuka, wakasema ni part of healing.
The government has shut down the cosmetic clinic pending investigations, with autopsy showing the late Wamboi's stomach contained about 50 milliliters of dark fluid.
Vile walifanya wakati waliona ako critically ill, wakamwambia ende nyumbani na wakafunga hospitali. Wakati alifika kwa nyumbani alikaa less than 10 minutes, akakuwa mgonjwa sana. Tukamrudisha huko, tukakutoa already wamefunga. Tulikuta tu watchmen.
Documents seen by Citizen TV show that Body by Design is a spa that was registered in 2022. It operates under Omnicare Medical Limited that was registered in 2017 and was licensed as a level 4 counseling center.
When you approach Body by Design for certain services to be rendered, you then are asked to make a payment to another company called Omnicare Medical Limited.
So, ukisikia kitu kama hii, what comes to mind? Like, this place is registered as a beauty spa.
First of all, it's a very sad hearing that's the husband or the father?
The husband.
Hearing the husband speak is, quite heartbreaking. Like, mzee alikuwa mpea na hope zake zote. As in, it's so heartbreaking, and sorry for the loss. That was what I was talking about in terms of loopholes. Because they know they've been doing this. How many people do you think they've had surgery on? Right now, tunaweza anza kutafuta. Maybe they've reached them wakambia sema iku happen. You get? But these guys have been operating, because ukisikia 2017, 2022, registration yao hata hawafai wafanye, ilikuwa counseling.
Beauty spa. Inafaa kuwa counseling.
Yeah, the license is for counseling. It's not, there's nothing surgical. yet there were doctors going there na walikuwa natumia hizo facilities kufanya hizi vitu. Ukisikia hata hiyo healing process inanuka
unanuka
like
feces,
as in it's this is someone as much as wako Lavington, that is the quackest thing. Not that any easy places ingine zinafaa kuwa na quacks, but who inspects these places? How often are they inspected? Because it should be so tight that msika huyo hata ukifikiria, because I see posters saying we offer circumcision. As hata wako na licenses. If something goes wrong, ask yourself.
It starts with such, because it's a surgical procedure.
It's a surgical procedure. Mwenye anafanya hizi surgical procedures, are their license up to date? So I really feel for that family. But they've been let down by our health system. Not beauty and span the first culprit, but the health system yetu.
And so history Lucy happened, because me personally I was saying like I don't trust like a lot of surgeons hapa Kenya. I think hiyo ni mistake. Wacha ni back nimeseti disclaimer. Kuna time nilifanya a whole rant and I talked about doctors instead of surgeons. I feel like there's a lot of come to surgeons, a lot of quacks that go through the system. But now apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently like one of the people who's been influencing for place, ama at least one of the person alifanya place ikajulikana ni dema naitwa Mrugi Munyi. Yes. I don't follow, so kuna vitu zinakuwaga very vitu za madem. You understand?
I know of her.
Yes.
I'm not.
Yes, so this is what she wrote. And then taniambia alikuwa ameandika after I think history ya Lucy Wambui aliandika, I've decided to come and give my view on what's going on. I've been affiliated with Body by Design since I did my liposuction there 2 years ago in 2022. At the time, I was not working or affiliated with them. I posted and said this is where I'm doing my lipo, and I paid full price for my lipo, my lipos, and since then, I've done some work with them. Most recently, I've been getting my semaglutide weight loss injections from them. I've worked with them for a long time. This situation is extended sad. My heart goes out to her husband and the entire family. Nobody deserves to die in pain. And then, okay. So, I think akaendelea, akasema, I'm not a medical professional, neither do I work at Body by Design. I'm not an expert on cosmetic surgery. I only share what I experienced and that have been going there since I got my lipo, whatever. You know, after that, you get these massages and whatnot. I know they are cooperating with authority, do proper investigation. So, I look at a situation where one person has gone there, na anatoka akinuka mavi. Then I look at someone else who I look at and it's perfectly healthy.
And he's also was working with them to influence.
Yes.
Because she says, after her surgery, she did.
How much are we supposed to trust that hata alipata surgery hapo? Because mi nikiangalia watu, from what I heard the husband talking about, I think this is total quackery. This is total.
Kabisa.
So, are we even supposed to trust ye mwenyewe alihave?
I don't know. Like for example, if like when I mentioned Nairobi Hospital and I had surgery there, I'm confident of like because I post in my stories like hapa ndio nimefanyiwa surgery. I try to document that part because I also feel sometimes that documentation will inspire others. And it includes documentation like this and this is what happened uko. I don't know what to think about it. It's
but this also comes to the other issue of should hospitals pay influencers? Because I think the easiest way to look at this would be wahenga. Mupenda sana kuenjoy wahenga na kusema their world and our world is very different. But walikuwa na ile chema cha jiuza kibaya cha jitembeza. Si ndio?
I believe health, in that too.
health is very, unajua
health is a fundamental human right that should be protected.
Should we influence for hospitals? And this is not just about Murugi, because I've seen this, a lot of people do it. Kuna mseni cheki alibaki amepost sijui yuko na shida na mgongo. Mimi nishambe gatu hapa yuko na shida na mgongo because of sitting for too long. Yes, so I know I need to do a lot of practices, blah blah blah, but I'll never influence for a hospital because I feel like what if kuna tu quacks fulani, hawezi jua ma quacks wako hapo. So hii trend ya ma influencers,
and I think
influencers huifanya sana.
Most influencers are just after money, like utanilipa how much. Sometimes they lack, a lot of people don't have the ethics to, like, I have to do a background check and check if these people are nini, and hiyo ndio inafanya wase sasa uone story eti nani amesema hii place ufanya. I don't think chama cha jiuza. If cancer patients will tell you nani alikuwa na hii na hii nalionekana hapa, ama mse mwingine atakwambia by the way mi surgery yangu ilifanywa hapa,
a specific doctor,
because
I feel like even that's what nani anafaa kufanya. Dem kama Murugi, if I was in her situation, I talk about the specific doctor that did my operation, and then we need to know the specific doctor who alifanya ya Lucy, so we start separating.
I think that not mentioning the doctor is also ndio asijifunge, because unaweza patiwa doctor ni quack. You get
okay. But hii ndio kitu pia ufanyaga na feel ni madem, kuna vitu deal nazo zile za man I'll never understand, because we have our body whatever issues, but it's rare sana that a man will be like, you know what, I need surgery for this.
And one of the things I experienced with chemo, I would experience something like at some point my teeth were so weak, they were literally falling off, and I was panicking. And then you go online and the first results in a comely pregnancy. Pregnancy does so much chaos to a woman's body. And on top of that, the hormones women have, hata achana pregnancy, the menstrual cycle, each menstrual cycle inaweza kuja na kitu yake tu that is fucking up your body. So even I think there should be a lot of emphasis, because now you see people prey on people who have self-confidence issues, beauty. That's why beauty is a very big nene. And that's why I'm telling you, professionals will tell you, you don't need to do this. But because the industry ishakuwa ile kupray na quick money, our quacks, they will not tell you the full side effects.
Because I feel like, Saizi, do you think it would be an extreme measure? Because if I worked for the government right now, one of the rules that I'd come up with is the same way, unajua Kenya ati law firms can't advertise. Unajua hivyo? So I feel like we need to reach a situation whereby things like cosmetic surgery, you can't advertise. Because you start pushing girls, because girls always have these issues, and you start pushing them, they start feeling that there's this perfect body, there's this perfect, because there's no perfect, according to Mimi. If you have to ask me,
there already laws, and I'll also give an example of a lot of the cosmetics that are sold in Africa and the ones that are sold in Europe, because they know Africa doesn't have frameworks and good systems and laws. Vitu zinakuwa damn tuku. So utasikia kitu that was banned in the 70s, huku imekuwa ikitumika, and then they know juu hakuna kitu mtafanya. Even if you sue them, ni kama wanakuburden. Because some of them maybe have already bribed the top, the guys at the top of the system. So nothing utafanya. Look at something like Always. How much uproar has been in terms of these pads zinatufanya hivi na hivi ama ziko na hizi side effects. And we have I would want to think women reps would advocate for these things. But even simple things like sanitary towels, already they are not advocating for. So your loophole bado itakuwa.
Yeah.
Unless there's legislative, like the legislature wants to do it.
Cause imenikumbusha nini, kuna time kulikuwa na this thing that people are doing. Ilikuwa some certain level of body shaming, but it still made a lot of sense to me. Kuna time wife nani uitwa nani? John Legend. Unajua wife wa John Legend? What's her name? I keep forgetting.
Christine Teigen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you know the way she looks, eh?
Yeah.
So kuna time watu walikuwa na joke ati John Legend yuko na rasa bigi kumshinda, and then they'd put the two of them together. I don't know if you ever saw that photo. So walikuwa kwa beach and what, and you could see cause yeni an Asian yuko your design.
Yeah.
But then mtu mmoja akajoke akasema that this is the reason why John Legend did such a perfect song about her. Alafu the perfect song ilikuwa All of Me, kusemanga cause all of me loves all of you, love your loves and love your edges, all your perfect imperfections. And that goes to show how mtu anaweza kupenda vile uko, but sasa shida ni in your mind, if you don't love yourself there is no other way. But now we have to protect you sometimes from yourself.
Yes.
And that's like if something is registered as a beauty spa and this thing is advertising cosmetic surgery,
Already,
I don't think
their baby ni skin lightening creams being sold.
which are cancerous.
No one has even done research. They're cancerous. A baby's skin is totally different from skin yetu. And there are people who are using it because they want their babies to be lighter. As in, if there's a low burning importation of this thing, then it makes it even harder. In the States, where there's cosmetic surgery, there are laws that are even more rigid that wase uhepa wanaenda kufanya cosmetic surgery nchi zingine.
Yes, ndio watu majuzi nimepatiana story.
Na watu wangapi wamekufa, for example Brazil?
Yeah, nimepatiana story majuzi still. The story was of someone who came from France, akaenda kutengenezewa beard in Turkey. And apparently the guy who alikuwa anamtengenezea beard in Turkey was a real estate agent. When this guy, he messed up his whatever yake so much, when this guy went back to France, alafu akajua that was not a surgeon, that was whatever
Real estate.
alijidedisha. So here another thing I was talking about is, as black people we always have to look at our skin and know that a lot of people have dehumanized us. That means if you go to this white country, they're looking like wanakuangalia kama mnyama wana treat. So don't expect that they're going to treat you with the same level of but you shall happen. Let's go back to cancer, eh? So yako inaitwa, hii jina ni rhabdomyosarcoma. Alafu ilikuwa it develops in children and teens but rarely occurs in adults, so kama time yako. So because of this, RMS in adults is often hard to treat effectively. In kids it's treatable. What happens?
Yes. In kids it's treatable because you see kids are still developing. Missy expert, Missy oncologist.
Yes.
But I've been in when I was trying to find the right doctor, I've seen a lot of kids with RMS who have been helped. There's a doctor in Kenyatta called Dr. Abila or Abola or something. I can Google it quick fast. But yes, it's in children it is quite curable.
Okay. Because
it's curable and won't come back.
Afu kulikuwa na hii common ile time unatafuta hiyo, kulikuwa na common sites of RSM include the head and the neck, such as near the eye, inside nasal sinuses, throat, and near the spine in the neck. The urinary and reproductive organs, arms and legs, na trunk. Alafu ilikuwa ni story gani cheki hapa? Your RMS is a type of sarcoma made up of cells that normally develop into skeletal muscles. These are the muscles that we control to move parts. So this is the reason why ulikuwa nasema at some point.
Yes, so muscles zangu are quite zinanionyesha moto. And it's why there are times I can't move quite well. But ni ile pia kujikaza. Like, of course, I know a marathon is about endurance. So what does it mean to me?
And how dangerous is that, considering vile uko nasema juu ya heart and heart attacks? And
it's quite safe as long as umeuliza your doctor akakwambia you can run. In fact, it helps your heart.
Okay.
So I try, because I know at some point mwili yangu itakuwa, I might even be paralyzed if I'm still alive. I owe myself to keep moving, to keep being active. Because hiyo itasaidia mwili pakubwa. Even the pain I experience on my spine, I think I owe myself trying to, because most of the solutions that I've had so far are quite mechanical in terms of lala hivi, lala vizuri. So it's part of trying to push myself and staying positive. Not positive thinking, but also actions.
And then now, how can people support you?
I have a thing out. It's on my Twitter at Nyawizi. So na M-Pesa 0720 145 146. Kevin Isaac Nyasiwo. Nothing is small.
Yeah, I know.
When that image trended last week, I was getting 10 shilling, 60 bob, and sometime talking, kuna mse alinitumia 3 bob, mse wa 60 bob na 3 bob walinitumia message as if wana apologize, as in hii ndio ile nilikuwa nayo. And for me, I actually felt their love. And now that I'm looking at the burden differently, it's like there are people who will choose to handle your burden. When I still used to go to church, there was a song about cast your burdens. So if kuna watu wata choose to cover your burden by whatever amount they can. So I even told this person, like, look, don't ever apologize for kituni yako. Hata kani kidogo. Hiyo 3 bob umesacrifice. Sijui nini umesacrifice. But for me, it makes a difference. Because a bottle of morphine costs a certain amount. Kuna siku, at some point, you need different medication. Unaenda unapata dollar ili change. So sai 3 bob ama 4 bob imeongezeka. Hiyo 3 bob yako itasaidia.
Yes. And so saizi, have they given you another time frame?
Now we are living. Kukiwa na, now we are living in terms of, we are still dying, but kukiwa na kitu ingine ita happen kwa mwili, like the skin, the wound that I was showing you earlier. I had just been dealing with so much skill ailments for the past 5 months, which were quite exhausting and emotionally distressing. And I was okay. Zikaisha, unajua ile process umaliza kila kitu, unajua sasa imeisha. And then after 2 weeks, something totally new comes up, and it's even more scary than every other thing. And it's, so far it's healing well. Kitu ingine kitokea. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Mentally, at some point I wasn't in a good space. And then when the money exhausts, you can't even... I couldn't afford the therapist I used to see. I was paying 3K. And I was in a very dark space and I needed therapy. So I literally drove myself. I didn't drive myself. Niliendeshwa na mtu hadi Mathare hospital, mental hospital. And I told the doctor, whoever was there, it runs 24 hours. So I told whoever was there that I don't think I'm okay at all. And they assessed and saw the emergency of it and sorted it. So I've been seeing a very good therapist.
So your school ulilala huko ama ulirudi home too? Were you able to go back home?
No. I spent quite a bit of time. Like 4 hours and rudi home like 1. But it was better.
Okay.
I was better. I was way better, and I came in the next day to see a psychiatrist and a therapist. And nimekuwa nikimwona weekly, and then nikakuwa 2 weeks, and then sahi tuko period after every 3 weeks. So I think that is good progress.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But you need to owe yourself that to hata wewe sahi. Your biggest asset is your
health.
See hata health. Mimi sahi my biggest asset is here. My mental. And a lot of us don't lubricate our
mental health.
Our mental health. It doesn't mean it ile time uko pabaya ndio. Hata sahi, when was the last time you were in therapy?
Yeah, I know. I've kitambo sana.
But
nilipelekwa I used to treat it as a joke because I was a kid. So ilikuwa seko, nilikuwa na hepa chuo sana. So the good thing, like in hindsight, I have to thank the school because it's the high school alinipelekaga niangalie kwani akamtuka na hepa chuo sana. But I never took it seriously. But yes, I understand how mental health is important.
So I think hata sahi wewe mwenyewe just go to find the cheapest therapist and just go assess yourself. Haimaanishi ati uko mbaya ama uko na shida. But it's checking. Ni kama kucheck that am I on the right path, am I okay?
So another thing ile sikukuuliza ni saizi umesema you are exhausting your resources. So it means at some point you lost your job.
Yes.
So when did this happen?
November
2023.
Yes, November 2023.
What happened? Uli quit, uli fireiwa, like
the wording on the document was we have parted amicably. I had posted results of my team. It was on a notice board, and there are guys who posted it before, but me venye nilipost because I felt there was already nilikuwa already namulikwa. There were people who were even being paid to watch my social media, because siku hizi at that time ndio nilianza kuangalia huyu by then ni nani, because I haven't locked my IG, so nika notice so they immediately disappeared after wamenipata. So they said in my contract I'm not supposed to share company secrets. But what I shared were my results, as in, like, Mimi compared to the people that, because I was being accused of not performing at work. And I was like, you rate, we have performance reviews. If I'm not performing at work, my performance review would be below 40 or below 50. You get? But how comes I'm the top? Kwa ratings, I'm the top. And
when do you perform?
Yes.
I know that situation happens with a lot of people who are employed, where the person who's employed you wants to get rid of you and they start looking for excuses.
Yeah, and I would love it if you're honest with me. You say we have these fears, and then I know that okay.
So shida ilikuwa wapi? Because you have cancer. Like even the first time you did surgery, ulirudi job after how long?
Kulianza kuwa na shida.
Ulirudi after how long? Because I felt like Nicole irudi haraka.
No. So first of all, because I've always been nilijua at some point when I'm still working, kutafika situation kama hii. So one thing I used to do is have all my doctor's notes shared. But at some point there was like, we need your medical file. And I was like, under the Kenyan law, I shouldn't share my medical file with you.
Yeah. Because it's private.
Because it's private. So you have the doctor's note. What I know the Kenyan law says is they can appoint their doctor if they don't have a company doctor. And then my doctor and the doctor wanaweza ongea. And then my medical report was showing, ndio, cancer imefika hapa, everything iko hapa, but am I able to work? Because my job literally, I'm a UI UX designer. And I could do my work. If I'm honest enough, kenye siezi sitakudanganya. And I also respect my body. The reason I also think I have been here for a long while, ni mwili yangu, hata sahi, nikisikia nimechoka, sitakudanganya. Nakwambia tu, unaweza ni excuse. You get? Okay. So I felt quite betrayed in terms of, when all this was happening, it is when I had scheduled for my surgery, which I was going to pay 600K and something, NHIF walipa tu bed. I had opened up to the HR and told them, this is my situation. This is what is happening. Hata ile agreement tulikuwa nayo ya kwenda physiotherapy jioni, all of a sudden nikaambiwa, now can we have it on paper and can we know inafaishe lini? Ndio tujue kama tutakuwa tunakata kwa salary. And I was like, you will only cut it from my salary kama nikimiss days. But if I'm at work, if I cover all my hours, you get. So that happened. History, a medical file happened. And then nikaleta medical, wakaongeleshana, wakaleta medical report. So there was a lot of things that nilikuwa najua. Now I'm just being, kuna ka witch hunt kanaendelea.
Hata job ni palliative care.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of you, basically.
They're getting rid of you. And they're not trying to give you any quality. My last check ilikuwa I think 26K. And that time I was servicing alone. So I even tell, even as a last ile, kama unaweza nisikia, tafadhali nitumie hii do kwa hii account ingine, because I'm about to go talk to the other bank, ni agree easy payment, I'll make them. Tulishatuma. No, walishatuma huko kwingine nikakata. I literally didn't have money at all. If it wasn't like support from the alumni group that I was talking about, my class, then that at least covered my rent and my bills. And then now I had to find facilities that, so I also go to Texas Cancer Center. Their medication is subsidized.
Oh, okay.
Kuna wall flani utaona Diamond, Recross na Omarion. I think they chipped in, they sponsored some of the wards there. So or rather my experience with them has been good. I found that I can get medication there cheaper.
I think I see one hizi masaiza South Sea. Kuna moja hizi size. Ule si Texas
Cancer Center, kuna moja Mbagathi, kuna ingine area Hurlingham, and there's a Shabaha Cancer Center being run by a doctor called Nurdin Bashir.
Okay.
Kama unakumbuka story ya msanii wa The Vultures. Leta madhaki alikuwa na The Vultures, sijui alikuwa na Mijengo, and then madhake alikuwa na cancer.
Mm.
So madhake alitreatiwa huko na Nurdin Bashir.
Oh, okay.
Quite subsidized. In fact, it's a very supportive community in terms of he'll not take advantage of you.
Okay, na pia I guess a big shout out to Simba, akina Diamond, Omarion na Rick Ross, because that really helps.
Yeah,
If
it
you can
helps.
help.
Yeah.
Help.
Yes. And see, people think that sometimes that umsi atahitaji mob, and ila party advantage. I heard you mentioning India. Do you know the influencer doctors that ukienda kwake yeye anajua lazima huyu nimemsukuma India, so they get their cut.
Oh, okay.
Whereas kuna services that are offered here. Ama huyo doctor atakuambia I've liaised with doctors in India and they told me we have someone there.
Hapa Kenya.
So I know there are people who need work done, especially with regards to cancer, that will need surgery in India. But also make sure it is awendi tu ku waste do na utumiki. Like they're totally honest with you.
Yeah, because I think that's the saddest thing about Kenya. We are not an honest people, and therefore one of the things imeni surprise kabisa ni we always assume that if you're battling something like cancer, your workplace will be supportive, but what unatuonyesha ni the workplace can also start.
And now that was the thing, because I was really honest, and in terms of at some point tukia argument tulikorofishana vibaya, and I was like, even the doctor they wanted me to see was a doctor that I had seen at some point, and I had shared with the HR that this doctor alikuwa akuniangalia vizuri, you get. So you can't, ni kama nikuja ni report rape to you and then uniambie sasa enda report kwa rapist wako, you get. So like I'm not going to that doctor. Get any other doctor, even if I'm covering the cost. Unge na my doctor na muavizi report and everything, but I won't. So these are the parts that, and we even had to bring like a mediator, and I told the mediator, like, in case it is support, and I knew the support would come with a poison chalice, like tunakupei sasa tutakuwa tunakukata hii na hii na hii. And I was like, look, if there's help I need, I'll tell you. But currently, the only support I need, nakujanga asubuhi mapema na natoka time. And then, because at that time I was also being treated by a doctor called Professor Mayo for my neuropathy. Because my nerves, the way I was telling you, my nerves are on fire. So I think one of the doctors saw that we are not with the old Professor Nini, got intimidated, and all of a sudden you're being called to the table to be like. So I told them, when I need help, I'll tell you. But currently, I just need kutoka jioni mapema. Na mapema unajua saa ngapi? Ni 4. And I was...
Which used to be Kenya kitambo silikuwa 8 to 4.
Yeah, na mimi nilikuwa naingia mapema natoka mapema. In fact, I had a record of ile time nimeingia. Ndio siku moja mtu kwa hii argument isikuja. And I knew by telling someone that you saying you're gonna cancel, I'm going through this and this. First thing, never assume the good.
Yes.
Unaona venye unataka assume support and everything. There are a lot of cancer patients who have also lost their jobs like that. They thought, even with friends, guys tell you, the first people I told this, before my family, we no longer talk.
Or friends.
Yes. People just disappear, and that's what I'm telling you. It's more honest if you tell me. Like there was a time, there was a young cancer patient that I met, and she was quite honest. She told me that whenever you share what you're going through with me, it is it gives me anxiety. So I think relationship yetu inani-add more anxiety. Nikamwambia sawa.
How old was she?
She was 23.
She was 23. She's still around?
I haven't checked up on her. But now you see, the thing is, this is honesty. Like, dude, unani traumatize. Nilikuwa nadhani, because you see people have different cancers and people have different things they are undergoing. So I appreciate if you're honest uniambie. That is the sad bit. That is the heartbreaking bit. That you're not being honest with me. Afadhali uniambie, hapa siezi. Ni kama venye unaweza kuingia mat. Sema mimi because most time nikipanda mat buka kitia mbele juu ya mguu. Kama hata iezi, and I'm paying for both seats. Kama hata imekata, naitikia tu, you get.
Okay.
So I think people who are suffering any terminal disease, you owe them their dignity.
Yes.
You owe them that, because at some point they'll lose that dignity when it comes to begging, and begging is the worst feeling. Because imagine you have to ask someone for 20 shillings. It's very dehumanizing, and humans will love when someone is your family might know, hey, when I will struggle, but then wanakuambia kwa hii Harambee Next lazima utoe 2 million. And wanajua una, you get. They could easily find a way of like wetwa, and that's how humans we are. When that's why people take photos with their wakienda kudonate
food and such.
Zingine is a documentation, and I'll allow that. But zingine, it's for bragging. It's more for them.
Yes. Okay. But Kevo, asante sana. So tukimalizia, wacha turimind wase mzabaki mmesupport, tukusetia numbers hapo baki mmemsupport, and I think the last thing naenda kuuliza, kwa profile yako umeka flag ya Kenya, Nigeria, South Sudan. Is there any?
Yeah, I worked in Nigeria at some point. Okay. I used to teach at a place called Nairobi's Trust. It empowers the youths from the age of 17 to 24 with design and coding skills.
Okay.
Ilikuanga hapa Go Down at Center. So I worked there for around 8 years, and then went to Nigeria to set up a school like that. For underprivileged youth. And when I was working in Nigeria, I became quite I loved the culture and the food and the way art is appreciated. Yes, I loved that sana. So I identify with them a lot. South Sudan is because of the basketball team. Luol Ndengo we used to hang out a lot. So he used to tell me his dreams for Kenya tafanya na South Sudan. And then they went to the Olympics. So I celebrate that. Na wajako wametoka South Sudan. Sisahau.
Okay. So vile tumesema jo, make sure umesupport kusetia M-Pesa number hapo, and Buda kile mimi naweza sema jo, endelea. Unajua I don't know if I call inspire, but it shows a certain amount of strength to post whatever you posted. Ukibonga juu ya your stage 4 cancer and you're dying and you're on the streets running. It just shows us the way. Maandamano. Okay.
I'll share with you that later. Nilikuwa maandamano, as in you should and I also understand people who have lost hope. I totally get you. But you also owe yourself that you kujipea hiyo hope hata kidogo. You're tu kidogo. The things you're still able to do, try to do them as perfectly.
Yes.
I might not be able to run a marathon again. But was I able to? Hata hii si walifunga Stanchart close nini.
Kwanza ulikimbia how many kilometers?
21.
Okay. Alafu nini maybe the last thing takuuliza, 2027 it's a 50-50 chance mzakuwa mautakuwa, which is for everyone, because pia sisi as much as we are healthy, but now since uko na cancer, what would be your message for 2027 to Kenyans? Because mecheki mko kipost Ruto must go. Do you feel there's something that this guy can do to reinvent himself and whatever himself to make waseka nyinyi wale?
I think he has had the opportunity to do that. He has had so much. You see, a lot of the guys who voted for him were also quite young. People keep talking about Mama Mboga, Wasiwa Boda. Those guys walikuwa meka hope yote. Ukiuliza wase sahi, watakwambia the best thing he can do is resign.
Yes.
As in, look, wase waliuliwa. Hizo family, no one is even accepting that.
Yeah, that there were unnecessary deaths. Okay.
And I it's sad. The people who say they are most religious are the worst examples.
Yeah, you mujuaga.
They're the worst example. Do you think anyone would want to convert to Christianity based off Ruto?
No one would want. Yeah. Okay.
So, wako na templated to doing the right thing. What you can do could change everything, but you're not doing. The only problem with Kenyans is we forget. Hata say kuna elections are balls in a cam. FKF. Wale watu walikuwa wana tuseme example ya Ruto must go shout Nika meharibu. I will assume they'll be paid ama their change of heart imekuwa ingine totally different. Kuna group fulani inaitwa KPL chat. As in, you wonder, like, nyinyi hata muoni. Wasi walikuwa na mkashifu sasa ndio wanamsifu. Na boli inaangamia.
Yeah. Boli ya Kenya inaendelea.
Hata in the next 10 years, women football wamejaribu sana kufika hata World Cup. But mtu asikudanganye eti ni juu ya federation or anything. Women are suffering in football hata kuliko maboy. Sports iko pabaya.
Yeah. Okay. Buda, shukran vile nimesema. And yes, hopefully you live longer than kitu yote ulimeambiwa.
Yeah. If you can get inspiration from any of this, or you can pick anything from this, is be kind. Spirituality, I believe, as much as I practice Islam, I believe God is in everything. Hata hiyo kitu umekalia, imagine wewe ni Mungu. So ukitreat hiyo kitu with kindness, it will serve you better. So that's the only way we can also live, that God is in everyone.
Okay. Yeah, so mmesikia jo, be kind. Na hivyo ndio tunaimalizia. Imekuwa like na an Iko Nini special. So kama kawaida vile susemaga, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.